Hello, everyone, right here. We are live, and I am with Domenicion Scott, and we are going to be checking out episode 4 of House of the Dragon. Hello, Scott. For everyone who's
I
new here, do you want to tell a little bit about channel?
Yes, I do. If you guys are subscribed to me and you guys love physical media, my name is Domenicion Scott. My YouTube channel. I love Blu-rays, DVDs, video games, and I like doing Blu-ray hunting videos for you guys. If you guys love all that type of stuff, you love physical media like me, my channel's the right place for you. And I also have Instagram and Facebook, as always, at Domenicion Scott.
All right. Yeah, he has a great channel, guys, so check him out. If you enjoy my channel, you'll enjoy his. All right, Scott. So let's get this on the go. Hello, Geek Studio. So we have two people in the chat right now. Geek Studio has just joined us, and hello. So, ready when you are?
Ready when you are.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
It is well fortified against any future Domenicion. And though my sweet maid Esther died, it is situated most patiently. The view across the marches is inspiring. So said Queen Alexandra herself when she honoured my father and I.
And tell me, Lord Dondarrion, did you think my great-grandmother as beautiful as they say?
This was half a century ago, Princess.
Yes, it was.
Unseemly.
The man is older than my father. It's unseemly of him to put himself forward as a contender for my hand.
Next.
How much?
It is well fortified against any future Domenicion. And though my sweet maid Esther died, it is situated most patiently.
Ours is a bond that has long endured. Since Lucas Blackwood, the grandsire of my grandsire, aided the dragon in his war of conquest.
Aye, the Blackwoods truly turned the tide on that one.
Coursed with the blood of the first men, our history is deeply rooted in this land, which your house has made its home. If chosen as your match, princess, your day shall be easy and night safe under my protection.
Protection? The princess has a dragon, you dumb cunt.
Dragon.
I began to like that one. Let us have the next. It's really good.
Craven.
We're leaving.
She that steal, you twat.
Send word to the harbour and have Captain Oswin ready the ship.
The princess will communicate to bridge in 3 days' time.
I would happily row myself back to King's Landing if it brought an end to this ridiculous pageant.
should make landfall inside the hour, Princess.
How do you think he will take it?
Do you speak of how you rejected every suitor his grace put before you, or how you abruptly ended the tour with 2 months remaining?
We're leaving.
See that steely twat!
Send word to the harbour and have Captain Osmond ready to ship.
Princess, would you make it in 3 days'
I
time?
could happily row myself back to King's Landing if I brought an end to this ridiculous pageant.
Got gutted.
Oh, you're right. In the stomach, right? That's where you're at.
Bye.
I didn't catch that.
Sorry? Oh, I said he got gutted by a kid.
Right.
You should make landfall inside the hour, Princess.
How do you think he will take it?
Do you speak of how you rejected every suitor his grace put before you?
I'm fine.
I wish to propose a marriage. My daughter. Got an heir.
A royal wedding. I hope to herald in a second age of dragons.
The nearest succession is
The last time we saw Damon, he was slathered in blood. This is his first time back at the Red Keep since being banished in the pilot. It's a big
What the hell happened?
Any issues?
Yeah, for some reason it like skipped ahead like an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I better
Go
stop.
back.
I stopped mine.
Okay, yeah, I'm going back. Yeah, like all of a sudden it started showing like Okay, I'm back.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Added to the chair.
You wear a crown. You also call yourself king.
Once we smash the triarchy, they name me King of the Narrow Sea. But I know that there is only one true king, Your Grace. My crown and the stepstones are yours.
Where is Lord Cornet?
He sailed home to Driftmill.
Who holds the stepstones?
The tides, the crabs, and 2,000 dead triarchy corsairs staked to the sand to warn those who might follow.
Rise. The realm owes you a great debt, brother. Come. This is our child.
I will not revisit this debate. You were always mother's favorite. No, that's no great question. You were. Our mother, she had no regard for custom or tradition, rules. And I, sadly, was no great warrior.
Congratulations, another two.
Thank you, Princess.
Perhaps Prince Damon would care for a tour of the gallery. He hasn't yet seen any tapestries gifted to you by Noble Simple Hall.
Would you like to see the tapestry? He has no interest in such things.
I'd like to see them.
Oh, well, then you should not deprive yourself.
I shall enjoy them alone.
More wine. As I said, you will. No, you were. You were.
Surmise the tour did not go well?
I enjoyed it for as long as I could.
Have every young knight and lord in the 7 kingdoms fawning over you.
What misery.
It is rare for girls in this realm to get a choice between two suitors, no less two score of them. Those men and boys don't fawn over me. They only want my name and my flowing blood for their offspring. I think it's rather romantic. How romantic it must be to get imprisoned in a castle and need to squeeze out heirs. How angry is he? The king went through great effort to arrange it all.
Yes, frustrated.
But I am glad you are home.
I find I have 3 friends, baby. I like to believe I'm still the Lady Alicent, but
All anyone sees when they look at me now is the queen.
I've missed you too.
Paiutan akili da Drisdoro, Liobet Pretas. Skorios Hitamasta. Silavo se umbun auhu. Amazinot kepen nochene dindigan fole fizi.
So, what do you want?
Only the comforts of home.
I've not thought you particularly comfortable in this home. Though I do suppose you seem changed by your adventures. Mature, perhaps.
You've matured yourself these last 4 years, Princess. You'll get used to the attention.
The attention I can endure, it's the rest I could do without. My father seems content to sell me off to whichever lord has the biggest castle.
There are worse things to be sold for. Y Dino de Malo sul fedele Marius.
Abraziris ois biare istas. Ziri leve todo.
Oh, che se crei un tempo. Tota luti umbriago rus najumman.
Una no hadaran aplicado ni secas. Arziri morcapotas. En cos voces potilundor.
Eo munia mastas vir mundasmans. Che si mundasma avuisa. L'also leon zucose clase con coste de oan. Viaggiai ambiciosa. Esarine.
Zugos glacium delundor. Me povas glacium.
Such a lonely prospect.
The stepstones were meant to be one for the realm, but over the past few days, it seems we have traded a crab feeder for a sea snake. This is clearly a review for passing over Lady Lena for Queen Alicent. Years have passed since the business with his daughter. Certainly it cannot still be wrong.
The sea snake is an overproud man, to be sure of this. That pride has been injured. Perhaps we can salve the wound?
I fear Lord Corliss's pride is the least of all.
I don't wish to cause you further distress, Your Grace, but my brother has sent disturbing word from Motan. Lord Corliss is said to have engaged in negotiations with the Sea Lord of Bravos. He plans to wed his daughter Lena to the Sea Lord's son. If House Valarian entered into an alliance with the Free Cities, then we would have to seek our own marriage pact.
Hey, Kal-El Daily.
What's up, Kal-El?
How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a good night. So far, it's been a pretty good episode.
Good night, Sir Kristen.
Sweet welcome, sir.
Good night, sir.
Sweet welcome.
I'm so-so.
Well, I guess that's better than that.
Thanks, Cal. Sure are.
Yeah, it's pretty politically driven.
He called me fool. Do you wish to know your death, child?
Oh.
Did you just see that? That lady with no eyes?
Yeah, and actually, that was kind of a spoiler.
Let me
Did
take
you hear
her.
what she said? She
What
said,
did
"Do you
she-
wish to know your death, child?" There's a
Oh.
spoiler right there. I mean, it was a split second. Like if you you could easily have missed it.
Leave us. All of you.
Leave us.
far kinder touch than they do.
Thank you, husband.
And a far kinder touch than they do.
Thank you.
And now we come to the matter of the great iron chair, and whose bum it might bear. Our good king names his daughter. A girl. His heir. And then to him a babe is born. A son! So which heirs might that chair bear? Who will it be? Which heirs might that chair bear? Who will it be? The brother, the daughter, or the little princeling of three? Rhaenyra, the realm's delight, a girl so young and so slight, loved by all of her people, but would she make a powerful queen, or would she be feeble? For upon the faith Prince Watchalong proclaimed, he has two things Rhaenyra cannot: a conqueror's name and a cock.
They are just a few words, but many of the small folk like to believe that as a male, everyone should be the heir.
Their wants are of no consequence.
They're of great consequence if you expect to rule in one day.
For one night, I wish to be free of the burdens of my inheritance.
Four Copper Street back in King's Landing will pay for our pleasures. Hey, stop! Boy! Wait, I'll find him. Then who might you be longing for now?
The hop.
Princess.
Don't.
Take care, boy. Next time you might not be so lucky. Enjoyed that, did you?
You know what next is freedom? Come.
Pardon me, Your Grace. The king has requested your presence.
The hour is quite late.
Yes, Your Grace.
What is this place?
It's where people come to tend their love. Fucking is a pleasure, you see. For the woman as it is for man. Marriage is a duty, yes. But that doesn't stop us from doing what we want. That's got some going on.
Damon?
Jesse, you hurt? I should have let the Lord Commander. My honor. You finished? Thank you.
Apologies for the late hour, my lord. What is it? A messenger brings word from White Worm.
Am I a prisoner?
That was once yours. I'm your protector. Lucky for you. This will hurt the fog.
Give me protection from the common law.
I'm not so common.
I'm not so common law then.
I've left that life behind. I learned that the skin trade could only take me so far in this life.
Never will I want to stay idle.
Not lessons are not welcome, but subtle. You can pay for the room on your way out.
Come.
What is it?
I apologize for the early hour, Your Grace. I have discomforting news. I thought it best shared discreetly before the council.
The sea snake.
I'm afraid it concerns the princess, my king.
Has she been harmed?
It is no easy thing to tell a father of his daughter's exploits. I had considered saying nothing, but the princess was spied last evening beyond the walls of the keep, in the pleasure house.
What of it?
She was carrying on with her uncle. They were engaged in behaviors unbecoming of a maiden, of a princess.
What behaviors?
What must I say?
You enter my bedchamber, accusing my daughter of something. Now speak it plainly.
Damon and Rhaenyra were seen together in the bowels of a pleasure den. Coupling.
This is a lie. We are being lied to.
I only wish that were true, Your Grace.
Who is responsible for this gossip? Have this rumor monger brought before me at once, and I will take their eyes.
As your hand, I must maintain trusted sources of information, and this one as yet has never led me astray. And several of the servants have now admitted to seeing her, the princess, creeping through the gates from King's Landing, disguised as a page, during the hour of the hour.
You so sick with ambition that you would have my daughter stalked, spied upon, awaiting your best chance to destroy her reputation.
I have no such intent, Your Grace.
You think yourself a cunning man. Your design is obvious. Do you wish to have your blood on the Iron Throne so badly that you are willing to destroy mine own? Just get out. Leave me. Once.
Your Grace.
Just some more. Come.
Princess. Princess, I have a message from the Queen.
What happened last night? What do you mean? My father has made some worrying allegations about you. Were you with your uncle?
Oh, I haven't seen him in years. He took me into the city for some fun.
Tell me the whole of it, Rhaenyra.
Your father accused me of something.
I drank wine, left the castle after dark. You fucked David in the pleasure house. It's a vile accusation. Is it? You Targaryens do have queer customs. And Damon certainly knows no limit. Alicent, your Grace sister, you must know I would never. You cannot believe such gossip. My father is no gossip. Well, certainly he's been misled. He could not have witnessed such a thing. Why not? Because it did not happen. He was told.
Who made these claims to your father?
I am the princess. To question my virtue is an act of treason. I do not know specifically. Your father did not tell you. He reported it to the king. Very well. So you are accusing me of slanders. You overheard? I only want to help you, Rhaenyra.
You drank in a tavern. Several taverns. It's getting late. And I asked to go home. But Damon wished to continue. As he was my escort, I had no real choice.
Continue. But what?
He took me to a show. I was only a spectator. I didn't do anything. And then Damon sank into his cups and abandoned me for some hall. Should know better.
So you did not. Must I truly refute now?
Damon never touched me.
I swear this to you, upon the memory of my mother. It was foolish of you to place yourself in a position where your virtue could even come into question. Kings strive to find you a good match, and so have I. Is that Lord to think that you were being we know everything. I know. Your Grace. I regret it.
The king demands an audience, my friend.
Take your fucking hands off me.
My daughter. Won't you even deny it?
I need to understand the charge before I can attempt to discredit it.
You defiled her. Oh! Still you say nothing.
What does it matter, brother? When we were Rhaenyra's age, we fucked our way through most of the brothels on the street of Silk.
We were young men. She's just a girl. Your niece.
Rhaenyra's a woman grown. I got first experience being with me in the summer hall.
You have ruined her. What lord will wed her now in this condition?
Who gives a fuck what some lord thinks? You are the dragon. Your word is truth and law.
I have spent a lifetime defending you. But your heart is even blacker than I thought. I should disinherit her, as I already did you. Be done with it.
Wait her to me. When I offered up my crown, you said I could have anything. I want Rhaenyra. I'll take her as she is and wed her in the tradition of our house.
You're already wed.
I didn't stop egg on the conqueror from taking a second wife.
You are now conqueror. You are a plague, sent to destroy me.
Give me Rhaenyra to take to wife. We will return the house of the dragon to its proper way.
Of course. It's not my daughter you lust for it. It's my throne.
Your lawful wife. Strive to restore whatever scrap of honor remains in you.
Strive to restore whatever.
Or don't.
Scrap of honor.
Matters not to me. As long as you are gone from my sight for good.
As long as you are gone from my sight for good.
As you wish, brother.
Have you spoken to her?
No.
It is not in Rhaenyra's nature to be deceitful. Cannot say the same for your brother.
You really feel like?
How often does he speak the pure truth?
How does confessing to such things serve him?
How did you say he?
Whatever transpired, Rhaenyra is not innocent.
Only because Daemon tried to corrupt her.
Daemon and Rhaenyra share the blood of the dragon. They are restless and chaotic.
She swore to me that she remains a maiden. And I believe her.
I'm sorry. So all those accusations were true.
That dagger
He's not married yet.
conferred on the conqueror.
That dagger.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it is difficult to know.
Before that.
Before Edmund's death, the last of the Valyrian pyromancers hit his song in the steel.
The last of the Valyrian pyromancers hit his strongest.
That's the cat's eye dagger. That's the dagger that Alicent will use to attack Rhaenyra. And that was also the same dagger that was used to in the attempted assassination of Bronn in season
His
1 of
will be
Game
his
of Thrones.
ice and fire.
Yeah. Now I wonder what we're gonna do with that dagger right now.
The burden of this knowledge. It is larger than the throne. King. It is larger than you.
That knife apparently has Aegon's vision carved into the blade. So it's passed down from like...
Jaehaerys would have disinherited you.
For a lie? You've yet to ask me for the truth of what happened.
The truth does not matter, Rhaenyra. Only perception. You have exposed yourself. Now we must both suffer the consequences.
Why, woman or man, I could bear two men if I wanted. I could father a dozen bastards, and no one in your court would blink an eye.
You're right. But you were born a woman.
So you will strip me of my titles and name Aegon in my stead.
I would. It is mine to hold the realm together, not sow it with further division. Your courtship is at an end. You will wed Selena of Valyria, and you will do so without protest.
The son of a sea snake, so I can be a remedy for your political headaches.
You are my political headache.
You are my political headache.
Your wedding to Selena Valyrian will unite the two most powerful houses in the realm. The combined strength of our shared dragons and naval fleets. No one will dare to stand against us. The House of the Dragon will stand as one for a further generation.
And what will you do about the vulture you purchased upon your throne?
What vulture?
Your hands.
Otto Hightower has served two kings loyally and faithfully.
He wants Aegon to be named heir, and he will stop at nothing to see it done, including spying on me to bring about my ruin. You speak of the Conqueror's vision and the need for strength and unity across the realm, but how can that be accomplished with your most trusted advisor so self-interested?
How can that be accomplished with your most trusted advisor so self-interested?
Every lord and lady that calls for an audience. Every man on my small council and all councils past it is self-interested. It is unavoidable.
I disagree. I will do my duties out and with Selena. You must first do this as king.
Your Grace. 5 days. I'm sorry, Your Grace. Though it was some time ago, the details, they fade in memory. My father was a hale and healthy warrior and dragon rider, at the peak of his abilities. Jaehaerys named a great royal hunt to celebrate him being near the hand of the king. 5 days later, my father lay dead. Tyrannus last moment. Balon the Brave, rider of Vagar, heir to the Iron Throne, dead of a burst belly. Gods have a dark wit.
It was a grim day. I recall it all too well.
It was a good day for you. Jaehaerys made you hand in Balon's stead.
That's hardly how I viewed it, Your Grace. It was a duty.
You served my grandson nobly in his final days. You are the man that taught me how to be king.
You honor me, Your Grace.
Just 5 days. You went from being another man in Jaehaerys' court to the second most powerful man in the realm. I wonder, how long did it take you to choose yourself over your king?
Your Grace.
I will never recover from Emma's death. But Alicent, she took me through the worst of my grief. She was a calculated distraction. I only now realize how How well calculated it was.
That is an absurdity. The Queen loves you, as I know you love her.
Your interests no longer align with those of the realm. Your judgment has been compromised.
The loyal hand must tell his king a discomforting truth from time to time, Your Grace. If he doesn't, he's failed as a servant.
You were a faithful servant, Otto. The crown and the realm, both owe you a debt that can never be repaid. I can no longer trust your judgment.
I don't know. Even though Odo was right about Rhaenyra, I kind of think that was a good call. Because he's clearly scheming.
Yeah.
Because it's like all just way too convenient.
I hope you can forgive the late hour.
He gets the king to marry his daughter, and now he's trying to get his.
I took great care that its preparation.
Yeah.
If not brewed properly, it can either prove ineffective or else
Right about
unpleasant.
I'm sorry, what is that?
A tea, princess. From the king. It will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
Alrighty.
This
that was
might
a pretty good episode.
Yeah, sure was. This might be a bit early to say, but I'm keeping this episode number 1 for now, in my mind.
Yeah, episode 1 is still the best. I would say I like this one the second. This has to be my second favorite.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my number 1 is this episode, and then episode 1, and then episode 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just swap episode 1 and 2, and then that would be my list too. Yeah, so the rumors about Rhaenyra sleeping with Daemon and her bodyguard, Kristen Cole, are true. However, she has still not technically been unfaithful because she has not married Lenore yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect they will probably have the wedding in the next episode.
Maybe if you can tell from the preview, I guess that'll happen.
Oh, yeah. I have to watch the preview. But I've been seeing pictures of Lenore around Facebook on the Targaryen Supremacy site, and they were talking about how he's going to be making his appearance in the, well, not his first appearance, because he was in the episode with the crab eater. He was flying the white dragon, but this will be like his second appearance, and it will be a big one. So I'm guessing the wedding will take place next episode.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. And, the best part of this episode is, you getting to sneak out at night.
Yeah. I kind of think what Daemon did was kind of needed for Rhaenyra, because she was like so against having sex and everything like that, and he did kind of like wake her up to how it's not such a bad thing, but they totally went about it the whole wrong way.
Mm.
And I mean, I guess technically, yeah, she would be an adult by this point, so they don't technically have.
You're frozen.
There we go. I'm back.
Sort of, for a second.
I have no idea what's wrong with my Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the right thing to do.
A little closer to the mic.
You hear me?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I still feel like I'm breaking it.
There you
I don't
go.
know. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So it wasn't really the right thing to sleep with Rhaenyra, but then on the other hand, it did wake up that part of her. And I don't think she's technically a child at this point. She would be around
17.
17, 19-ish. I mean, that still makes her a teenager, but I guess they're not going the full pedophilia route there.
Frozen again?
I don't know. It says I have a full Wi-Fi bar. I don't know why.
Nah, I know what that's like.
But yeah, so I guess they're not going the full pedophilia route. Like, that would kind of invoke HB. But oh, and did you see Viserys back?
Can you repeat that? I'm kind of barely hearing you.
Do you see Viserys back?
Her, with the back?
Yeah, back. It's getting worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you look at the back. Those spots on his back, they're getting worse. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard on some kind of forum that he has leprosy.
Leprosy?
Yeah, it's a flesh-eating disease. Yeah, it basically eats your skin away until you're like nothing but muscle, and it's supposed to be very contagious. Like if you touch it, it can spread.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
If they get much worse, we'll see his muscle, and that's gonna look probably terrifying.
Yeah.
Like from previous episode, even though that guy was burnt to death.
Yeah, that guy, the crab feeder, he was burnt. But yeah, it basically just eats your flesh and muscle away. Yeah, it's a pretty bad disease, and there's no cure for it either. It kills you.
Wow.
It's very rare, but especially like nowadays. But you can still get it. You've seen the movie Braveheart, right?
Body part?
You saw the movie Braveheart, right?
No.
With well, there was a guy that had leprosy in that movie, and his leprosy was so bad he was like wrapped up like a mummy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, it's a scary disease. So, what did you like about this episode so far?
Well, I would rate this episode a 9.
Yeah, I would put it up there with an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did like the King's Landing.
I like the setup, and I like that our father started to find out about her by her night out, and like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that was tense. And he just beat Damon.
Yeah.
You know, I am slowly liking, like, Damon is slowly becoming my favorite character. Like, I really like Damon. I think he's a very complicated, quite misunderstood character. I think he really does care for his family, but he's just, you know, he's an outcast and kind of a deviant. So he kind of sticks out.
I also really liked all the music throughout the episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed that they had more music in the background in this episode, and it's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, it has a very like old medieval, slightly kind of like Targaryen feel to it. It's really pretty. And oh yeah, because you know I was complaining about you that we weren't getting enough scenes with Allison, and we got Allison a whole lot more in this episode too. Allison and Rhaenyra kind of had a heart to heart.
Uh-huh.
But then they just kind of like went right back to fighting.
They're the best friends, aren't they?
Yeah, they're best friends. They kind of like considered themselves sisters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, you know, Alicent still seems to be very pro Rhaenyra. She sticks up for Rhaenyra quite a bit.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, she's trying to be on her side.
Yeah. I mean, she even stuck up to her father in that last episode when he was like, "Oh, you got to get your son on the throne. Rhaenyra shouldn't be on the throne." And then she's just kind of like, I don't know. I think Rhaenyra would be a good queen. You know, it's like she kind of like slides things in like that. So she's still very pro Rhaenyra right now. I wonder what will officially do it. Like, what will drive her over the edge to actually turn against Rhaenyra?
Ooh, that's gonna be insane if that were to. That's gonna be insane, and I would feel bad for the two breaking apart. I would feel bad.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it can't just be the part where their sons fight. And Allison, this hasn't happened yet, but you know the cat's eye scene when Allison tries to stab Rhaenyra in the eyes, like that can't be what drives them apart. There has to be a build up there somewhere. You don't just go from like 0 to 100 like that. I mean, yeah, her son did get his eye taken out by Rhaenyra's son. But it's like that can't just be the only thing. There has to be more there. I want to see the gradual grow of their decline. I mean, they clearly don't have the same relationship they did before, but they're still basically like friends. So yeah, they're not quite there yet where they're willing to kill each other yet.
Is it still stuck in your head when that lady asked her, "You want to know how you die?"
Yeah.
With the no eyes.
Yeah, where she's like, "You want to see your death, child?" And then it had that flash that, like, there was a flash, like, in between there. It was only, like, a second long. But, man, that gave away the ending. I was like, oh, that's foreshadowing so hard. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I caught on to that very quick. I was like, oh, that's foreshadowing for what's to come. You know, what happens is technically scary. I would have been very scared if I was in Rhaenyra's shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a flash. It didn't give too much away about, like, what exactly, like, her end will be. But it's like, it was there.
Now, I can't imagine what her faith will be similar to Daenerys. Can't imagine that.
Well, I'm like I said, I don't want to ruin the ending for you because I want to see your surprise, like when we get there. But comparing Rhaenyra's fate with Dany's fate, their deaths are very different. Actually, Rhaenyra's death was actually spoiled in the Game of Thrones show.
Well, I don't remember, so.
Yeah, it was the scene with Joffrey and Marjorie, where when Joffrey asks Marjorie if she wants to go down and see the Targaryen tombs, and then Marjorie was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then they go down, and then he started naming off the different Targaryen tombs. Rhaenyra's tomb is still in the Red Keep, and he tells the story to Marjorie of how Rhaenyra died.
Yeah, I gotta revisit those scenes whenever I can get a Game of Thrones in my collection.
Yeah. What season was that? That was before they were wed, so that had to be around season somewhere between season 2. Yeah, it had to be in season 2. Yeah, that scene. I can't really remember. It's been a while since I watched Game of Thrones. And it's been a while since I read the book, too. I read the book in 2018, so I'm kind of like being refreshed as I'm watching it and remembering things. Excuse me. But yeah, Odo, I don't trust Odo. I'm kind of like Viserys telling him that he needs to step down and he can't be the hand of the king anymore was kind of a smart move. I think I would have done the same. Just because, yeah, he is very scheming, and it is like, kind of convenient that, he's rising through the ranks. He gets Viserys to marry his daughter. His daughter then suddenly has a son, and now he's trying so hard to get his grandson on the throne. And then he tells King Viserys, "Hey, I'm spying on your daughter, and this is what she's doing behind your back." So I'm kind of like, yeah, even though he's not lying, and he is giving Viserys the truth, he is just looking out for his own bloodline. He really wants to get his grandson on the throne. He wants to get his blood on the throne.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know if you could trust somebody like that. Like, even if they have been faithful up to that point, like, that's somebody who's trying to take the throne from you, So, yeah, I think it was a good move on his end. Because I would have done it too. I would have been like, you need to get out. But yeah, Rhaenyra was right about that, like talking him into getting rid of Odo.
Wasn't that Rhaenyra's friend who was spying on her father? Trying to understand the truth.
Yeah. Alicent was in the closet or something. She was like slightly out of the room, and she was listening to them. That's why she can. Yeah, that's why she confronted Rhaenyra in the courtyard, because she's like, "Hey, I kind of like want to know what happened. Like, are you really doing this?" And damn, Rhaenyra is quite a liar. She went from being a sex deviant to a liar like that, and then she's like, "Oh, I would never do that. Damien never touched me. No, I'm still a maiden."
Yeah.
It's just like shit.
Yeah, she was trying to hide. Yeah, she was trying to hide.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that I don't really fault Rhaenyra for that, and I don't think that really changes my opinion of her, to be quite honest. Like, I would still side Black. Because, I mean, like, who cares? Like, who she goes and sleeps with, it doesn't matter how many bastards she has. Is it really going to affect her cognitive ability to, like, rule a kingdom? Like, overall. Like, so many kings have had bastard children. Hell, even Cersei had bastard children. And it didn't stop her from becoming queen. Although that was never really technically proven, although she did tell her father that, you know, all 3 of her children were her brothers.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I would still side Black. I don't think it really changes my opinion of Rhaenyra. Other than she's a smooth liar. That's kind of troubling.
You got that right.
Yeah. But I mean, I understand why she would lie about it, though. I mean, she could lose her place as heir. She
Face
could lose-
consequences, especially in that day and age. You can face a lot of consequences.
Yeah. And like her father said, when she loses her maidenhood, she really loses any chance of getting married to any lord who could give her support later on if she ever needed it. Like in the case of a war and everything.
Now I'm wondering, when she finds out, or when do we get the episode when she finds out who her husband really is that we talked about? So I don't want to.
Oh yeah, Lenore. Yeah.
Spoil that. I don't want to spoil that. When she finds out who she really is, I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah. So I think she's gonna get married to Lenore in the next episode.
I want to see the look on her face. I really want to see her reaction.
Oh yeah. I want to see her go and complain to her father.
Yeah.
She goes and complains to Viserys and just goes, "Yo, he's not a suitable husband." So I want to know. I want to see that.
Right.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, getting married to him would be very good. And actually, getting married to him was one of the reasons why she had such a big dragon army during the war. Because she married, Lenore Valerian, and they have dragons. And because she married him and everything, she got the support of his family in the war. So it doubled the dragons in her army. That's why she had a much bigger army than Aegon did.
Interesting.
Even though she really didn't stay married. Well, I don't know. Did she actually? No, I don't think they actually have divorce customs in their. No, she never divorced him. No, so
they don't have divorce like in today's society, do they?
No, not that I'm aware of. No, I think once you're married, you're kind of stuck in it until one of you dies. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think she stayed with him. Yeah, because she was married to Damien during the war too, and she still had the support of the Valerians in the war. So she had to have kept a good presence and relationship with them for them to help her out. Especially when she just goes and takes a second husband. But yeah. But things are getting spicy where they're starting to show that Rhaenyra is not very reliable. She's a sex deviant. She is fully prepared to just sleep with whoever she wants. She really doesn't give a damn. She does not give a damn about the rules. She's going to break the rules if she wants to. She's really just showing that she's going to do whatever the hell she wants, and she doesn't care.
She does not care. She wants to do what she wants whenever she wants, and she doesn't care what nobody says. She won't take no criticisms, no nothing.
Yeah, and she has a mouth too. When anybody tries to talk back to her or try to confront her about her misguidances, she just snaps at them, and she's she either lies about the situation or she just tells them to get fucked, basically.
Yeah, I gotta see those. I really cannot wait to see those reactions like that.
Yeah.
See the way she reacts like that.
Yeah, man. The wedding is gonna be interesting if they show the wedding.
I have a feeling that wedding will be crashed.
Yeah, probably because now that Otto has been removed from office, and Otto and Kelly Daly's back. But now that Otto is gone, and Otto had a lot of support and Aegon has a lot of support, as you can see from like when Rhaenyra was in the town and they were watching the play. That the people of King's Landing are not really siding with her. They would much rather prefer Aegon, as you can see from the crowd.
I do remember the red wedding incident from Game of Thrones, and so I'm wondering how this wedding in this show will go down, compare and see how people will compare this wedding to the red wedding from Game of Thrones, which I think is highly one of the best talked about moments in the Game of Thrones.
That was probably one of the shocking moments from Game of Thrones.
It was shocking.
Yeah, I remember when I read the book, and I got to the red wedding part of the book. It just took me by surprise. I was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Everyone's dead. All the main characters are dead." And I was like, "What are they gonna do?" I lost you there for a minute. What'd you say?
Yeah. Remember, a woman was killed in that red wedding, and she was pregnant, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Robb Stark's wife. Yeah, she got gutted.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was like the first thing. That was like the appetizer. That was the first thing that happened. They just walked right up behind her and just started gutting her right in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
But I can definitely see Rhaenyra's wedding getting crashed. Especially after what happened with Odo. Because like I said, Odo had a lot of support. So does Aegon. They don't want Rhaenyra on the throne. So a wedding is the perfect opportunity to like kill a monarch, you know? I mean, it happened with the red wedding, it happened with the purple wedding. Like every leader dies during a wedding.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's insane.
Unless you're Robert and then you get killed by a pig.
What?
Yeah, you remember King Robert got killed by a boar because he was drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, he went hunting and he was drunk and he got killed by a boar. But actually, that was kind of like orchestrated by Cersei. So Cersei kind of set that up for Robert to get killed. Because she admitted it. She was like, I killed my husband because it felt good. I was like, that's why I love you.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, Cersei's like, I don't give a damn. I love Cersei so much. But yeah, this was a really, really good episode.
Yeah,
really
I'm sticking to a 9 out of 10. I think this episode really had me hooked.
I would say, yeah.
I was quiet the whole time, so I was just invested in it.
I know, like, I mean,
yeah, I was just so invested. I couldn't say anything.
Yeah, and it seemed like Daemon and Viserys were gonna start getting along again, but then Viserys just beat the shit out of Daemon, and then he's like, "Get out." So I bet Daemon's probably gonna go back to Dragonstone unless he goes to the wedding. But I don't know. He might not be welcome at the wedding. But Rhaenyra really likes him. You can tell she likes him. She gives him goo-goo eyes every time he walks into the room.
She was actually enjoying her night out.
Mm-hmm. I think she sees Daemon as a suitable partner, even though he is her uncle. That's incest and that's bad. But like, she's like, he's powerful. He's a powerful warrior. You know, he knows what he wants. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's going to do what he wants to do, and no one's going to stop him. And I think she admires that about him. And I think that's why she's wanting to become more like him. And why she's starting to give that I don't give a fuck attitude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think she's trying to take after Daemon. She wants to be more like him. I call him
Following his footsteps.
Yeah. Yeah, she clearly looks up to her uncle.
Maybe more than her father.
Oh yeah, I think she looks up to Damon way more than she looks up to her father. Hey Jerry, what's up?
Oh, what's up, Jerry, man?
Yeah, we were just going over the episode. It was a pretty good episode. An 8 from me and a 9 from Scott here. Almost as good as the first episode, in my opinion. But yeah, quite a bit happened in this episode too. Like, it wasn't slow, it wasn't drawn out.
Episode 2 was definitely the slowest.
Yeah, it was so drawn out. I mean, it had a lot of good family moments, although we need more Alicent scenes. Like, I like Alicent. I want more Alicent.
I think we're gonna get more of her.
Yeah, we need to get more of her because I'm like, yeah, we got really good moments with them in the first episode, like how close she was with Rhaenyra and everything like that. But once Alicent married Viserys and they started fighting, they've had less and less scenes together. And well, I mean, obviously they're not going to want to be around each other. They're fighting, but we need more scenes to build up their, the hatred and everything that they're eventually going to have for one another. Because right now it's
dark.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they do it well, because because like as of right now, they're not at that point where they want to fight each other. They're still technically friends. So yeah, I really want to see what actually ends up being, the nail that drives them apart to the point where they want to actually kill each other. Because I wouldn't even say the cat's eye scene was enough for like Alicent to want to kill Rhaenyra. Like, she wanted to cut out Rhaenyra's eyes, but some would argue that she wasn't trying to kill Rhaenyra in that scene. She was just upset about her son losing an eye, and the whole eye for an eye thing. So yeah, it's obviously going to come down to I think Odo is going to be like the main puppet master behind it all. Kind of like how he was in the books. And he's going to manipulate Alicent to turn against Rhaenyra somehow, even though she's still avidly, supporting Rhaenyra even against her own father. But somewhere that's going to change, and then she's going to want her son on the throne.
Yeah. Can you see them facing off each other one-on-one?
Alicent? Well, they will definitely confront each other, like, after the war, when, Rhaenyra takes King's Landing. They will definitely have, a moment where they confront each other and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there will definitely be that, because that did happen in the book, where she confronted, Alicent after the war. But Alicent was not a big participant in the war itself. She didn't fight or anything.
Okay.
Which, I mean, makes sense. Alicent's not really a warrior. She's more, the pretty one that stands in the back. I mean, even Olivia Cook said, hey, if she wasn't royal, she would be a whore. Yeah, she's not like that.
Not the combat type.
Not the combat type. Not like Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra's a little bit more of a combatant type.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, she's probably more combatant than Dany was.
I don't know. That's an interesting conversation. Who would be more combatant, Dany or Rhaenyra? I would probably go with Dany, actually. Even though Dany never actually officially fought anybody, she always used Drogon, which is weak, but I mean, that's what dragon riders do. But like, Dany was always kind of like surrounded by, fighting and everything like that. She didn't grow up as a princess, where Rhaenyra was more or less shielded from things like that. Dany actually like witnessed all that, and she became like more hardened. So I think Dany would actually be a far more combative person than Rhaenyra. Even though Rhaenyra, has a dragon and would obviously go to war too. But I think Dany would have a little bit more experience in that. It's just Dany had a little bit of the crazy.
Yeah.
Where Rhaenyra is not as insane. She hasn't shown any like true level of madness.
No, she hasn't yet.
Yeah. I don't actually, like, me trying to remember the books, I don't think Rhaenyra really has any real moments of madness. I mean, she becomes very brutal, like torturous, like brutal almost, but not to like a level of like madness where like Dany started like torching like innocent people. Rhaenyra never really went after innocent people. Yeah. Unless you would say, oh, the spy she tortured wasn't a spy. But but yeah, like Rhaenyra would not torch King's Landing like Dany did.
That's different.
Yeah. Even Dany torching King's Landing didn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest, like when it comes to Dany's character, but that's what they did in the show. So, but then they just try to say, oh, she had, the madness, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And I was like, she never showed any level of madness, but you know what? Go ahead. She has madness. I'm actually really curious about what happens in the book, because the book, the Song of Ice and Fire books are not done yet. So the true ending to the books we don't know what it is yet. And I really want to know like what George R.R. Martin does with Dany. Is she going to be the same way? Or is he going to write her a little different? Or is he going to at least show her slip into madness? Like, is he going to, show it better? Where we're going to see it, gradually see it. Whereas in the show, it was just kind of like, she went mad one day.
I wonder that too.
Yeah. I'm very curious. We're getting the next book, hopefully next year. That's what he said. And then there's going to be one more book, and then the books are going to be done.
Well.
So, hopefully he finishes them. They, like, Winds of Winter, which is the book that's coming out next year, was supposed to be published like 3 years ago. But, like, George has been working on so many other projects, especially, like, this project. He's been working on this show instead of writing his book. But, like, I'm kind of like, I'm liking the show, so I can't really, like, fault him for writing House of the Dragon. But I'm like, dude, write your book. I want to know what happens. And I don't want you to die before I find out what happens.
Oh, I know what that would feel like.
Yeah, because I mean, he's old. George R. R. Martin's, he's old and he's not healthy. So it would be very, very sad and unfortunate if he never got to finish, his baby. Like, this is like his Lord of the Rings,
You can say that.
Yeah, this is his, like, this is the project he's most proud of. This is the one he put the most heart into, and like, I would love to see him finish it before anything happens to him.
The longest dedication of his life?
Yeah, he's been working on Game of Thrones since the 90s.
Wow! Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, the first book of A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, the book, came out in the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he's been working on it for almost 30 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of hard dedication.
Yeah. And you can tell he really loves his work. I mean, he wrote.
He doesn't want nobody to touch it.
Yeah, he wrote House of the Dragon himself because of what happened to Game of Thrones. So it's like he wanted this show to be, perfect the way how he imagined it. And, he loves this story and he wants it done right. He's not like a stickler and upset. Because they asked him in an interview how he felt about Game of Thrones, and he said that it was an honor for his books to be turned into this big phenomenon and everything like that, but he was not pleased with what happened to it. He said the ending to the books can be very, very different from the show.
Oh, wow, I would like to hear that when you know.
Yeah, when I read the book, I'll let you know what happened. But yeah, a lot of heart and dedication went into this, and you can tell there's like a lot of detail and everything in this. Like Game of Thrones is not an easy story. It's very complicated. Very complicated story.
It's a big story.
Yeah, it is. It's a big story that takes place like in multiple different countries with multiple different characters, and like it's a big world. Hell, I'd probably even say it's bigger than Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Lord of the Rings, like, that's a special story. But yeah. I honestly, like I said, I'm really enjoying the show. I like it. They put a lot of heart into it, although I don't like the time jumps. I think there's too many time jumps and not enough in between. They need to show us more. These time jumps are hurting the show a little bit. Because we didn't get Viserys' wedding, which I think would have been a very interesting scene, especially for Rhaenyra and Alicent. We didn't get that. And Alicent didn't look pregnant in this one. Did she already have her second kid?
Who was that one baby that
because she was pregnant in episode 2.
Yes, yeah. I know that.
Yeah.
And I thought that same lady just had her baby.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Alicent doesn't look pregnant anymore. Was Aemon born? He had to have been born now.
Right now, all I know is you saw that one baby, so maybe she hasn't had her second one yet. So I don't suppose she's not pregnant with a second child.
Yeah, they did show that like nursery, and there was a baby crying, and I don't know, it seemed a little bit too baby to be Aegon. Because Aegon was 2 years old in episode 2? He wouldn't sound like that. That had to be Aemon. Aemon has to be born now. I'm not too sure. She just didn't look pregnant in this episode to me, so I'm like, I guess she had her second kid. And then, I think her and Viserys only have 3 kids, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, there was Aemon, Aegon, and Helena. I think that's it.
All right.
And Rhaenyra has a shit ton of kids.
Wow.
She has like, she has the 3 bastards, and then she has
more than 10.
No,
goes that way too far.
Yeah, no, she didn't have 10, but she had her first 3 sons, which were Joffrey, Luke, and Jace. And those are her bastard sons, her alleged bastard sons. And then she has 3 more sons with Daemon. And
Oh.
then she had a daughter, but the daughter died.
Oh. Maybe the daughter. If we get to see the daughter die, maybe that will be one of the biggest moments in this season, huh? Or in the show.
Yeah. The death of Visenya, I think that's her name, Visenya. Because Visenya didn't live very long, if she lived at all. Because she was born deformed and twisted and everything, so barely survived, barely even lived. And that was like, that'll be shortly after the dance. Yeah, because Rhaenyra had her daughter, the daughter died, and then she flew to King's Landing, like shortly after, and then took King's Landing, and ended the war.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she had 6 living kids. 6 kids is a lot.
Yeah. That's definitely a lot.
I don't know if I'd want 6 kids. But geez, I have a hard time wrapping my head around having 1 kid. I'm like, kids are a lot. Like, and I just have my niece, and my niece is a handful.
I understand. I don't even want to have them myself.
No.
I'm going through a lot with my brother.
Yeah, me personally, no. I couldn't have kids of my own. It's too much. Especially with today's economy, man. Having a kid would put you, like, bankrupt you. But yeah, wow, we've almost been going on for 2 hours. So, I guess we will end the live stream here. Thank you everyone who did tune in. We had Jerry, Kal-El, and Geek Studio joined us at first.
Yeah.
But then I guess he had to check out. But yeah, we had 3 viewers. So thank you all for viewing.
We really appreciate you being here, stopping by the channel to say hello for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Anything else you want to say, Scott, before we go?
Is there anything you want to discuss just for a minute about that Pinocchio you text me about?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could talk about Pinocchio for a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I saw the new live action Pinocchio movie. I didn't like it. I did not like it.
It wasn't for me. I know it wasn't going to be for me. So
no, see, I actually really do like the Disney cartoon Pinocchio. So I was like, this will be a pretty good movie. I mean, the trailers looked decent and everything like that. At first, like the beginning, it's really, really good. Like they set it up really nice, and Tom Hanks is Geppetto. I don't know who voiced Pinocchio, but he had a very cute voice. Like he really, captured the character of Pinocchio, and it was going good, and then it just gradually got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Wow, and that worse?
Yeah, it got bad. It got so bad to the point where I thought about walking away from the screen.
How did you watch it?
I watched it on my couch in the living room on Disney Movie, or the Disney Plus, whatever. Yeah, it's, I don't know, like they introduced a whole new character that I honestly could not stand. She was like a handicap puppeteer that was like puppeting this really stupid freaking ballerina puppet. And then yeah, no, that's not even the funny part yet, Scott. Pinocchio fell in love with the puppet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's almost like they were starting a relationship between Pinocchio and this puppet, who, by the way, is not real, that's being like puppeted by a girl. And honestly, I could not stand this girl. I was like, get her off of the screen. She was so pointless. I was like, why is she here? She's dragging on the time. Can we wrap this up? I did not like her.
I know everyone's saying they're so tired of all these live action remakes. They're nothing but cash grabs.
Yeah.
I quite like the Jungle Book from 2016.
Oh, I love the Jungle Book.
I still stand by that. I still do.
Yeah, the Jungle Book was amazing. I liked the Jungle Book.
And I quite enjoyed it. I surprisingly enjoyed Aladdin when I watched it.
Aladdin wasn't too bad. I thoroughly enjoyed Aladdin for what it was. Yeah. I would say Aladdin and the Jungle Book are probably the best so far. Dumbo wasn't.
I still stand by my word too that the live action Mulan was okay.
Well, see, I differ with you there. I didn't like that movie. But I mean, that's fine. Yeah, it wasn't for me. Mulan is one of my favorites. Like,
I get it. I used to watch that movie quite a lot when I was a kid on VHS, and then I watched it one time on when it was on Netflix before Disney Plus launched, and I thought it still held up a lot.
Yeah, I just say for me, I think the Mulan movie missed the whole point of Mulan, kind of like how I think Pinocchio missed the whole point of Pinocchio. Pinocchio was a very gullible, very innocent character that was easily manipulated. And when he was manipulated into doing bad things, he never really understood that he was doing bad things. You know, he had to be told he was doing bad things, and then he would feel bad about it later. But it was like in this movie, he kind of like was like a goody two shoe that was constantly saying, I got to do the right thing. I got to do the right thing. That's not a good thing to do. So I'm not going to do that.
And
I'm like, that's not Pinocchio.
I was so bored watching the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I hated that movie. That movie's so bad. It's not good.
I was so bored. You don't even need to. You don't need to say anything about the live action Lion King at all.
Oh no. That's almost worse than a Beauty and the Beast. See, I didn't like Cruella as a Cruella movie.
I still like to watch Cruella for what it. I would still like to watch it for Emma Stone because.
Yeah, I mean, but for like what it is, like it's not Cruella, but for what it is, it's decent. It's solid.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, I didn't hate Cruella. I don't like it as a Cruella movie, but you know, I didn't hate it. It's definitely better than Aladdin, or well, actually, yeah, I would say it's better than Aladdin. Now that I think about it, I think I would prefer to watch Cruella over Aladdin.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Cruella.
They said they were going to do Aladdin 2. We ain't heard nothing about it, especially with this controversy about Will Smith.
Oh, I didn't even hear about them making a sequel to Aladdin.
I'm sure they said they was going to do a sequel, and the first one made over $1 billion, so I know a sequel had to be greenlit. I can't imagine it would be based on Return of Jafar.
A Return of Jafar might be interesting, but I think Jafar was the worst part of that movie.
I heard a lot of people say that his performance, the actor who played Jafar, was off-putting.
Yeah, it really was. I didn't like Jafar in the live-action Aladdin. I think they needed to get somebody more sinister.
I don't know who else would play that role, but
no, Jafar is kind of a hard role to portray.
I don't know who looks like Jafar in this world.
No, or somebody that can at least be as like
maybe
creepy
someone creepy, someone who's kind of an old age.
Yeah.
We need some black hair because Jafar doesn't have black hair.
I would like to see a Hunchback movie. I mean, if they can do Hunchback right, I would love to see another Hunchback movie. What's another one? Oh, they're doing a prequel to The Lion King. They're doing a Mufasa movie.
That I just heard that.
Yeah.
A lot of people got. I think a lot of people are mad at that, and I know a lot of people are mad at this live action Little Mermaid that we're supposed to be getting too.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, but I was just like, the trailer doesn't show anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I guess it looks nice, and she has a pretty voice, but that's all it gave me. I was like, it's not showing me anything. I don't know if I would like it or not because it didn't show anything. But I guess it's a teaser trailer, so
It is. You don't see
trailer.
anything in teasers. That's
Yeah,
the good thing about teasers because you don't see anything a lot because trailers reveal too much.
Yeah. And like the Lion King trailer, like teaser trailer, like it's playing, you know, the classical music that gets the feels going. You go, oh yeah, that's
I
my
know.
childhood right there.
Yeah, I know.
And like I said, the actress that they got to play Ariel has a beautiful voice. So when she was singing part of that world, like, you know, it was good. So, but you know, I don't know. It's one thing if Disney, you know, if Disney makes it garbage, then it's gonna be garbage. But I'm willing to give it the chance to see what it's about. Like, are they gonna keep faithful, or are they gonna try to spin their own narrative?
Oh, I can see both of that happening though. Maybe follow what we know, but they'll also bring in some controversy somewhere in that movie.
More than likely, because that's what Disney likes to do now. They like to put controversy in their stuff and bring in their own narratives that nobody really wants to listen
And if
to.
I remember correctly, they brought in someone who was gay in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah, they made what's his name? LeFou? Yeah, LeFou. Yeah, they
The
made
villain.
him gay. Yeah,
Yeah.
well the dwarf that always hung out with Gaston. Yeah, they made him gay.
Hmm.
Well, although they never officially said he was gay, they gave him like gay vibes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, come on! If you watched the original, you would know that LeFou always had it out for Gaston." And I was like, "But did he though? He just seemed like a simp to me. You know, I don't think he was in love with Gaston. He was just more of like a simp trying to please. You know." Yeah, but I was like, whatever. Beauty and the Beast sucked anyway, so I don't care. But yeah, they showed their lineup. I guess they're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch too.
Oh, I heard that. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing that. I just don't know how would they pull off Stitch in that movie. He will be CGI, but I just don't know how they pull him off the way he will look.
Yeah,
But I think I
unless
wouldn't mind a Lilo and Stitch live action.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be too bad. I mean, if they go more of a cartoon side with Stitch and don't try to make him realistic.
Oh yeah, I see.
Because if they try to go a realistic route like what they tried to do with Sonic, it's gonna
off-putting.
be bad.
It'll be off-putting.
Yeah. But
yeah, a lot of people are really mad the way they originally designed Sonic. But in fact, there's this movie on Disney Plus, some kind of Chip and Dale movie, where they actually reused that original look for Sonic in that movie, from what I've heard. And I actually saw it on the internet.
It was a bad design. Whoever did that deserved to be slapped. You know, just to put like some knowledge back in.
That was one of my skepticals about that first Sonic movie, with the way they designed Sonic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they heard enough backlash, so they went back and changed the way he looks to look more accurate to the video games.
Yeah, and honestly, it did the movie wonders because he looked much better. Yeah, he looked much better for sure. But yeah, the only remakes that are coming to mind are the ones that are really standing out are that Mufasa movie, the Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, that really seems to be the only ones that are sticking out to me. But then on the other hand, are they going to try to go like live action CGI kind of thing with the Mufasa movie? More than likely, they're probably going to. And if they do, that's going to make that movie drag. Because that was one of the aspects I hated about the new remake, was how realistic it was.
I understand.
Like, I mean, it looked pretty, but
I know that's.
it didn't do anything for me.
I totally understand.
Yeah. But if they do that with Mufasa, I don't know.
It's just like all the animals just got a straight face.
Yeah, like there's no emotion.
I get it.
And also, like when they killed Mufasa in The Lion King, like that was more funny than, you know, like terrifying and sad, like it was supposed to be. It's just the way he fell.
Oh.
I was just like, wow,
I get it.
It's bad. that was really
I
bad.
get it.
And also, like, they took out, like, that line, you know, like, when he's looking at that scar, and in the original, he goes, "Brother, help me." You know, and it's kind of like, you know, he's addressing him as his brother, like, "Brother, help me." And then in the remake, he goes, "Scar, help me." Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh well, thanks for taking."
Scar just slapped Mufasa down. He just slapped him.
Just slapped his ass.
Just slapped. That was really silly.
And the way he fell, it was like comical. It wasn't like, you know, impactful. And also the shadowing and everything in that movie was so bad. Like they missed the whole point of the shadowing of the cartoon. You know how like the shadow goes over Mufasa's face to, you know, show that like, wow, he's actually realizing that he's being like, you know, killed, betrayed. But his eyes lit up, like his eyes stood out. Like that's beautiful, like visual storytelling, because it's putting a mood in there. That's all that was not in the original, and the music cues were off. Because, you know, like in the original, when Scar slams Mufasa's paws down into the earth, you hear that like dung sound when it happens, because like the music was made for that scene. But like if you watch the original, that dung doesn't happen when he slams his paw down.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I was like, wow, way to miss the musical cue there.
It's just silly.
Yeah, it like I said, The Lion King is just the remake of The Lion King is a jumbling mess. It's bad. Bad movie. I can't stand it.
It's so silly.
Yeah. Well, we are now officially at 2 hours, so I guess we are going to end this live stream. Thank you very much for joining me, Scott.
Glad to be here.
I'll keep you updated on my schedule so we can do episode 5 on your channel.
Gotcha.
And I can't wait for that. That next episode's gonna be very exciting. I can see bad things happening in the next episode.
I hope my heart pumps.
Oh yeah, I guarantee their wedding's gonna get wrecked. All right, have a great night, everyone. Thank everyone for joining who joins and listen to our ranting of Disney. But have a great night, everyone.
Peace out.